right, guys, this is interesting. This is from WrestleMania. It's called 10 Dangerous Weapons That Went Horribly Wrong in WWE. I'm curious to see what qualifies as horribly wrong. Does it mean, somebody lost a limb or just somebody took a bad bump? Oh, that wasn't a weapon, but yeah, I've always been amazed that he wasn't hurt worse than he was.
Time, and sometimes it's not even at the fault of the wrestlers. Over the years, a lot of WWE matches
that
have
was
had
good.
instances when treatment weapons have completely botched.
Shit like that happens. I had the reverse happen to me once. I was supposed to do that in a ring. It was during a run-in, and the guy was supposed to hit ducks, and then I take the chair myself as it bounced off the ropes. Yeah, it was a typical indie ring, but this one had no spring in it, and I couldn't get enough momentum back to hit myself convincingly.
This can come in the form of a table refusing to break, sometimes multiple times.
Oh! Wow, that was not the right type of table.
Or even the production crew
Holy
fitting the
crap.
wrong type of glass. But when did these moments happen? Well, join us now as we look at 10 times WWE weapons.
Yeah, the wrong type of glass would be a
horribly
major
wrong.
freaking problem. Jeez. Tables not breaking sucks. Because when that table breaks nice and clean, it actually
Subscribe and hit that
helps
notification bell for daily
break
wrestling videos and follow
the
us on
bump,
Facebook
break the fall.
for exclusive lists.
Yeah, that hurts more. There we go, got it.
Number one,
That's-
Booker T can't break the table.
Stings, but...
That Survivor Series made the best
Oh, I think, didn't we see a clip of this before?
man win.
And one of the top feuds on the SmackDown
I think he didn't-
brand towards the end of 2006
he doesn't get him up and
was a
onto the
feud
table
between King Booker
squarely,
and
right?
Batista over the world title. Booker T had completely reinvented himself following winning the King of the Ring tournament that year. and
Another
was
one of my
going
favorites,
all
Booker
in on
T.
the King gimmick.
Such a fun guy. Funny guy, too.
All of this, and he's still a humble king. Humble.
Ah!
Now the payoff between these two men would take place
That-
at the
what did they call that
2006
kick? Harlem
Survivor Series,
sidekick? I think it was. I made a short about it.
finally win back the
I
world
always loved that
title.
move, too. He's just such a good athlete. Made it look so cool.
Surrender the world championship back in January. Batista has won the world title back.
All right, come on.
But in order to get to the match, WWE booked a contract signing between the two men on SmackDown, which featured a humorous yet well-saved table spot.
Hey, King Booker in trouble. Step through the table.
He wasn't that far off with it. Just the one leg collapse. His weight was
Towards the close.
off a little when he hit it, and I think that's why the leg gave instead of the table breaking the
moments of
first time.
Signing, Batista attempted to put Booker through
Let's
the
see
table
again.
with a spine buster, but hilariously, Booker
Yeah.
bounced off the table. It would then
Yeah,
execute
it
the move
just,
again,
like I say,
but
his
King
weight wasn't
finally broke.
squarely
Number
through the
two,
center of the
that's
table.
not a fake
That
guitar.
wouldn't be a terrible bump.
And during the build to
I wouldn't call that
WrestleMania 3,
horribly
WWE decided
wrong.
to turn one of their top heels babyface for the first time in their career.
And the second time
This
through, they
would be Jake the
nailed
Snake
it.
Roberts.
Won't you come and see how the devil's work is done?
Who would enter into a
Good old
feud with
Jake.
Honky Tonk Man, leading
Too bad
to a
he had all
showdown
the
at
issues he
Showcase of
did.
The Immortals. To execute the babyface turn, WWE had Honky Tonk Man appear on the Snake Pit, which was Jake Roberts' chat show. The angle for the talk show was that Roberts was set to be hit with a guitar, thus setting up the feud.
I remember this, but I don't remember the... Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Sadly, it was a real guitar used instead of a gimmicked one.
Oh!
Meaning that just before the feud, Roberts seriously hurt his neck from the guitar shot.
But honky tonk, when you take a shot at
Damn.
a man like me, you better make that shot count, and you didn't. You see, I'm still walking.
Wow, that would
Roberts revealed in a
sting like hell, though.
2016
That would
interview
hurt
was
a real
catalyst
guitar.
for some of his addiction problems later in life.
I started taking painkillers
I-
then because he obliterated 2 discs in my neck. The surgeon said that
You know what's terrible, too, is not only was obviously at the wrong guitar, but he hit him at an angle, too. That'll really screw up the
had guys
discs in a
fall
hurry. He
off
didn't even get him
2-story
square on
buildings.
top of the head.
the disc
Watch
had
this
not
to the
done that.
side.
The disc actually exploded.
He got hit like
in
a
my neck.
baseball bat
It
swinging
admitted
at a
he was
ball.
seriously messed
At
up
least if
from
he
the
would have
botch and
been
started
face
taking
on,
painkillers
it probably
to deal
wouldn't have
with the
been
pain.
as
Robert
damaging.
would also add that he doesn't blame
Shit.
Honky Tonk for the botch and that there's no heat between the two men for the incident. Number 3.
That's
that
typically the way
pesky
workers
announce
are.
table.
They understand that, you
The
know, it
match
wasn't
between Rated
Honky's
RKO
fault.
and D-Generation X at
Guys are
NXT
usually
Revolution pay-per-view
pretty
in
decent.
2007 is
Oh, it's
mainly
the business.
notable for Triple H tearing his quadricep. The
No,
injury
that's
would
not
occur
good.
when Triple H executed a spine buster on Randy Orton when his right quadricep tore completely off the bone.
We talked about that, the
Weirdly
McMahon
similar to
family
Triple
and
H's infamous 2001 quad
torn
tear
quads.
injury, as they happen to have both
It seems to be
occurred
an
on
epidemic
January
in-
7th. The match
it's a non-give that's got to hurt. Oh, yeah. Even on his knees,
Final moments of the
when
match,
you just
Triple
don't,
H went for a
when you
pedigree
don't
on
have
the
that
announce
breakaway
table
at
to
all.
Edge. Unfortunately, the table
like
didn't break.
doing
meaning
it on the
Edge
road.
got a nasty landing. JR4, that dastardly announce table
Nice.
again.
Oh my God! Undertaker stays alive!
As CM Punk and The Undertaker had a show-stealing match at WrestleMania 29, it was
I gotta, you know, I'm not a, you guys know I'm not a
entire
Punk
card
fan.
was unfortunately a match
He can
that
work a
became
match.
synonymous with during the match. CM
whatever
Punk hit
reasons.
a top rope elbow on a prone Undertaker who was laid out on the announce table.
Will this be Punk's WrestleMania moment? Here he comes!
And a no break. Oh yeah, that's tough.
Unfortunately, despite after the show that CM Punk banged up his knee in the
I bet he
spot where
did.
jumped off the top rope with a flying elbow onto the Undertaker and the announcer's
Oh, that's
table.
yeah, that's
We're
ugly.
amazed
That's
that Punk
rough.
didn't slow down and finish the match because he was in a lot of pain.
I give him credit for that. That had to
Look out
that
for
had to
that
hurt.
ladder.
When it especially from that distance when a table doesn't break. Ah.
A Money in the Bank 2019 featured an excellent men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
So there the ladder fell
Unfortunately
off the
ruined
other
by a
ladder,
finish which
which
involved
didn't allow
Brock
it
Lesnar
to
winning the entire
break
thing.
in the middle.
Despite the booking decision being criticized universally by fans,
Huh.
it wasn't the most talked about moment of the match. As during the closing moments when Lesnar made his way out to the ring,
Trying to-
he pushed a ladder
my
and
memories.
unfortunately it fell on an innocent cameraman,
Oh,
injuring
shit.
him in the process, and probably the camera too.
Oh shit. Because I watched all these. Well, that's just there.
I was no doubt pumped to get into the match that caused the injury. Number 6, table hygiene.
That's a tough one because, yeah, should Lesnar have been more careful? Yeah, obviously, but in the heat of the moment and stuff, it's certainly not anything he did on purpose. You pushed the ladder over without thinking. That's
tables
tough.
match doesn't say diva.
It's a man's match.
The 2010 feud between Lay Cool, Beth Phoenix, and
I like
Natalya
the women's
delivered
division a
in
lot
every
better
way
nowadays
possible.
when they get out there and work, just like that whole Becky Nia match from Raw.
Despite the feud being
enjoy
given
that
little
more.
to no time on pay-per-view and television, the 4 individuals involved put a lot of effort into making the feud stand out from the rest of the card.
It's a testament to how far the Divas division has come that we are prepared to.
So what was the,
Sunday.
oh,
Someone
this-
is going through a table.
The payoff
Oh, that
for
was
the
a table.
feud
I thought it
would
was
come at
cardboard.
The 2010 TLC pay-per-view in the first ever women's tables match. The match itself got
Okay,
almost
I
10
lost
minutes,
track.
which for a women's match in 2010 was some achievement.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's good because the match seriously delivered, with fans loving all the creative spots that all 4 women came up with.
Has this ever been done? You got
That's pretty cool. A double sharpshooter. I like that. That's pretty cool. That's That's inventive.
Michelle McCool from the top rope onto a table.
That's just a matter of time.
Oh,
Unfortunately, that table didn't break, so
That was
Lane and
a-
McCool were awkwardly laying there.
that was a
Natalya,
solid
however, acted
landing. I think they
brilliantly
just didn't
did
weigh
a top
enough.
rope splash onto
Oh,
both
shit.
women, finally breaking the table in half. Natalya would discuss the finish on WWE's Behind the Match series.
She did the right
stating,
thing. She did it safe too.
Doesn't break.
The match continues.
But you,
So there was only one thing I could do.
she did the right thing. Look at how she got nice and square to
Natalya
give
would
them
then
the
go on to
best,
call the match
the
the
best
highlight
landing
of her
that she
entire
possibly could and everything. That's
career.
wow.
Number 7,
Natalya knows her
unintentional
shit.
nut shot. Roddy Piper's role at WrestleMania 7 was extremely limited due
That's-
to a real-life
that's
motorcycle
good thinking on the
accident
fly.
that left him on crutches and unable to wrestle. although Piper would appear in the corner of Virgil, who had finally rebelled against his boss.
Right, I remember when the rebellion
leading to
took
an
place.
Epic showdown between the two on the grandest stage.
Virgil gone now,
Unfortunately,
too.
The match was rather disappointing, with the fans being more intentionally through the crutch, and it accidentally
Oh!
landed directly
I
into
didn't
the
know about
crotch
that.
of referee Danny Davis.
Ah, did
Another announce table.
Let's just stop for a moment to say that does qualify as going horribly wrong. When you get jacked in the nuts like that, that one's apropos for the title.
Now, the main event of SummerSlam 2000 featured Kurt Angle versus The Rock versus Triple H for the WWE title, and it incorporated one of the scariest table mistakes
Oh yeah,
in WWE
yeah, we all
history.
know this one. That's when that. There's just so
Early
many
on in the
ways you
match,
can
Kurt Angle was able to
injure
break
yourself
through
in
the
an
announce table by
unexpected
Triple
fall
H,
like
but
that.
the table give way, meaning Angle
Especially
landed
when
straight
you know
on
he was
his
getting
head,
his momentum
knocking
going
him out in
upwards.
the
Oh
process.
shit!
Angle would speak about the moment in an interview where he revealed,
And
"When I
well,
went through
obviously
table,
the end
I was
result,
out.
Angle
Stephanie McMahon
getting
brought me
clocked.
back out. When we got back to
So you
the
talk
ring, I
about
asked her,
torn quads
"What
and
do I
stuff,
do?"
you can do
She
that
said,
real
"When the
easy
Rock's foot
when something
hits
like
the
that
rope,
goes wrong.
grab him." So I grabbed him by the foot and then looked at Stephanie again, and she said, "Throw Triple H into the steps." So I threw him into the steps, and she said, "Get the hell in the ring." Angle would go on to reveal that Triple H then proceeded to talk Angle through every single spot in the match to
That's-
ensure that Angle was able to finish the match and not risk further injury.
I'll tell you though, I can sympathize with that. We've done some crazy shit where I really.
Somehow, the three men went on to have a
it was
great match,
difficult to
which in the
remember
circumstances
anything that was
is
going
some
on.
Achievement.
So
Number 9, the
you
sledgehammer.
know how he feels. It sucks.
My God, the sledgehammer! No! He just grabbed the arm! What sledgehammer?
When Triple H initially introduced a sledgehammer as his weapon of choice in WWE in 1999, it was a fake sledgehammer that was used. The
Right.
fake hammer would contain a rubber head attached to a wooden base.
Look out! Oh my! To the back of the skull of the Big Show!
The only time this was switched out was when Triple H would need to break something, for instance a casket, so a traditional sledgehammer was used in its place. The usage of the hammer would drastically change at WrestleMania 17, as during the match between
What the
Triple
hell?
H and The
I don't-
Undertaker, there was a spot where Triple H hit Taker as he was going up for the last ride.
The sledgehammer! Oh my God! The hell the Undertaker!
Okay.
But in this instance, the hammer broke, which forced The Undertaker to suffer a nasty cut.
Oh,
From that
shit.
point onwards, Triple H began to use a real sledgehammer in all of his matches, with him covering up the dangerous part of the weapon to avoid any damage being inflicted on his opponent.
That makes Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So again, you're talking about something that just went unfortunately wrong. They were trying to do the right things and protect
And number 10,
one another,
a
and
glass-shattering moment.
that's cool because I remember Triple H always, watching how masterfully he would use the real sledgehammer and protect the guys.
I thought
That's why.
there's nowhere else we can go.
Yeah, this makes
whenever you see a wrestler go through a glass on
this makes me
TV,
cringe
it's
every time I
always
see
sugar
it.
glass,
It's
which
just
is completely
amazing he
safe
wasn't
to use
more
and can't
seriously
really
hurt.
damage anyone.
That's such an iconic moment. The Rockers are done.
However, in the infamous match between Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon at 2001's King of the Ring pay-per-view, Angle
Damn.
as the production crew
That
had
just
clearly
it does
forgotten
that
about
makes
the plans for the
every time
match.
I've seen it probably 100 times and it still just it makes my skin crawl watching it.
Reinforced the panel so that it wouldn't break during the pyro.
Shane was naturally
Shit.
hurt badly following this error and needed over 50 stitches as a result of the botch.
I'm hurt bad. I can barely move now.
Shane was kind of out of it, but he said, "Throw me through it again." And I thought, oh, man.
It was even revealed
Vince wanted it stopped, and his only way to communicate that was through me.
He kept saying F words, F bombs. And I'm hearing Vince in the background. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, Kurt, do not put Shane through this glass again. Do not try to put him through this glass.
And Shane's like, "No, do
there
it,
you
bro."
have it, guys. Be sure to leave your comments down below.
That was good. That was a good collection. I did enjoy that. But that whole thing, again, I know we've talked about it many times, but the whole thing with Shane and Kurt there at the end, it's incredibly dangerous. Lucky there wasn't significantly more damage done to those guys, especially Shane, than there was. But there's still that part of me that appreciates that. That's old school wrestling. Let's give them a show. mentality. And right or wrong, it does strike home for me.